Alright, we are back and we have to head to Camp Dragonhead to talk to Elfino and Sir Emmerich. It seems I was the swifter, Asuka. You too, however, have arrived with time to spare, for our host is yet to make an appearance. The murmurings about camp tell of some manner of trouble at the gates of judgment. In the Lord Commander's absence, I suggest we visit the place and find out what is afoot. Okay. Gates of Judgment are much more than mere doors. They are the outermost layer of Ishgard's magical wards, if our first line of defense can be so easily shattered. When I laid eyes upon Lady Iceheart, I felt the marrow freeze within my bones. Heretic scum! How dare they meddle with our divine protections? I shall rid our nation of their blasphemy, even if it means cutting them down one by one. I like how, with their chainmail hoods, they still have pointy elf ears. I'm trying to position it so that there's like a light color in the background. Maybe that. Yep, there. You can see her left ear. We need not fret over much. There are yet several layers of arcane protection that shield the city from invasion. Mother will be fine. Probably. Probably fine. Twould seem the heretic struck the first, and most telling, blow against Ishgard. Scions! We expected you at Camp Dragonhead. My apologies. We chanced to hear that there had been trouble at the gates, and thought it prudent to investigate the cause. Then you have learned of the heretic's treachery. Lady Iceheart led a force of her followers against our defenders, and came close enough to dispel the first of our wards. But let us speak more of this back at the camp. Sir Emmerich awaits you. Yep. We can go do that. The worms roar. Lady Iceheart has grown bold indeed if she would risk direct action against the city. Come, let us do as we were bid and return to Camp Dragonhead. Lord Haurchefant will know where Sir Emmerich means to receive us. "'Tis reassuring indeed to behold the countenance of a friend when one's homeland teeters upon the very brink of disaster. Though a single misstep could send us plunging into the abyss, your heroic presence stokes the flames of courage within my heart. Ah, but you did not come to Dragonhead to listen to my prattling. The Lord Commander has arrived, and would treat with you in the intercessory." That's like a... That sounds like a very the name of a room that would be in a church. And I can only assume it is, because I'm not going to look it up. Hello, Emmerich. I thank you for coming with such haste, and apologize for my absence. Suffice it to say, Lady Iceheart and the heretics have much to answer for. Yes, we are but recently returned from the gates of judgment ourselves. Given the circumstances, we quite understand if you would prefer to postpone our appointed audience. On the contrary, Master Alphino, I think it more important than ever that this meeting take place. Rest assured, I shall return to my post on Ishgard's walls the moment our business is concluded. Before we move on to the subject of reinforcements, however, I would introduce you to a close friend and stalwart ally, Estinian. That's Horsham. There he is. May I present to you Ishgard's Azure Dragoon? An impressive title, though I confess I know precious little of the Order of Dragoons. They are a formidable warriors all, yet even among such masters of the lance, Estinian is without equal. He, out of all the warriors of Ishgard, was chosen to wield the power of dragons, and may thus contend with any Dravanian. You flatter me overmuch, Lord Commander. If ever I was without equal, I am no longer, as my fellow Azure Dragoon here will attest. Be at ease, Asuka. I did not come to challenge you this day. Okay, so what he's referencing there is if you do the job quests for Dragoon, you also become an Azure Dragoon and you meet Estinian before this point in the story. And since I've done that, he knows that and is referencing it. Well, now that we have all been introduced, let us proceed to the matter at hand. I would share with you what we have learned of Iceheart's design, as confessed by the heretics taken captive after the assault of the gates. 'Twould seem that Lady Iceheart and the Dravanians share a common goal, the reclamation of Nidhogg's stolen eye. Nidhogg, one of the 7 great worms. His name features prominently in your nation's history. Though once defeated by the hero Haldrath, the beast is said to have terrorized Kurthus since Ishgard's founding. Aye, many are the scars our walls bear from Nidhogg's relentless efforts to raise the city. The trophy Haldrath, plucked from the bested worm's skull, known simply as the Eye, is a treasured relic of Ishgard, and one possessed of untold power. Should it ever be returned to Nidhogg, the dread creature would be restored to the height of his strength, and then no wall or ward we could erect would be stout enough to deny him. It's literally his eye. My vengeful son hath waged war against Ishgard for 1,000 years. No mortal mind could comprehend the depths of his rancor. The eye itself is secreted deep within the vault. It is kept under heavy guard, surrounded at all times by men and women who have proven their loyalty to the Holy See. But though stout walls and sharp blades may suffice to discourage the heretics, the dragons are another matter. There are individuals within the Dravanian horde whom the entire company of knights would labor to repel, and say nothing of Nidhogg himself. Nor does age rob them of their strength. Through the endless march of years, the dragons endure, patient, calculating, inexorable. You must understand, these creatures do not share our perception of time. And that is especially true of the great worms, that they who spend centuries in slumber, only to wake and resume their campaign as if mere hours had passed. It has been 20 years since Nidhogg last darkened our skies. 20 years for him to gather his strength, and for us to bolster our defenses. And now, just as he seems primed to return, the heretics strike at the gates. You believe that Lady Iceheart is in league with the creature, then? Of that we cannot be certain. Though we know the heretics covered the Eye, we have been unable to determine their plans for it. Such questions aside, we must needs address the ragged hole their mistress has seen fit to rend in Ishgard's protections. 'Tis a weakness the Dravanians are not like to leave untested. So it would seem. You have described your plight in admirable detail, Lord Commander, yet I cannot help but wonder at your candor. Why share such sensitive information with us? I shall speak plain. Ishgard has need of allies, and I would have you bolster our front lines in readiness for the coming battle against the dragons. This much I expected. Unlike our arrangement concerning the Keeper of the Lake, however, only you stand to benefit from our assistance in this matter. I fail to see why we should intervene in a conflict which concerns only Ishgard and Dravania, using their position against them. When the Eorzean Alliance requested Ishgard's assistance during Operation Archon, you refused us. Does it not seem grossly unjust to demand that we now risk our lives in your private war? I make no attempt to defend my country's conduct. I only ask that you consider what would follow if were Ishgard to fall. Having razed our city to the ground, the Horde would have little cause to linger, and most would return to their lairs in Dravania. Soon thereafter, the ruins of Kurthus would be buried in snow, and the land would become the sole province of beasts and beastmen. Until the Garleans' arrival, that is, for you may be certain that the Empire would not hesitate to claim Kurthus. They would not even have to draw steel. An imperial province sharing a border with Mordona. 7 hells. Ahem. Very well. We will assist you in repelling the dragons. The roar of a great worm may have shaken the firmament, but we of Eorzea will not abandon our Ishgardian brothers to face the coming horde alone. Nor did I ever think you would. Now, upon the matter of the roar. Allow me, Sir Emmerich. Through the power of the Eye, I have become a vessel of Nidhogg's strength. His essence has stolen into my very blood. That seems heretical. Fear not, I am in full control of my faculties, I assure you, and the Eye itself is of no relevance to this tale. It is not essential that I bear it with me wheresoever I go. Its lingering influence does, however, allow me to hear Nidhogg's voice. Then the worm who roared was Nidhogg, aye. He means to hurl his horde against Danathan's collar and shatter the remaining wards that protect the city. There can be no doubt, the worm has summoned his minions to war. Well then. When we finally get to hear Estinian talk, my voice for him won't do. His gravelly, gruff, Clint Eastwood type voice justice. Though the circumstances are far from ideal, this desperate endeavor will at least provide us an opportunity to bring the sister states of Eorzea together in common cause. Sir Emmerich was more ruthless in his negotiations than I had anticipated. I suppose one must give no quarter when one's home is at stake. But did you see the look on his face when he formally requested our assistance? Though the Lord Commander has long campaigned for Ishgard to open its gates to outsiders, I suspect this softening of the Holy See's attitude toward foreign cooperation comes as something of a bittersweet victory. The days ahead promise to be interesting indeed. Committed to the cause. If we are to aid the Ishgardians in this war of theirs, preparations will have to be made, and soon. Before proceeding, however, we must needs return to the Rising Stones and make our report to the antecedent. Okay. Let us return to the Rising Stones. Hi, Tataru.
Alphino, it is good to see you. Tell me, what have you learned?
Pray summon the others. Everyone must hear my report.
So this was all but a taste of what's to come.
Indeed. The main host advances upon Ishgard as we speak.
Whose vaunted defenses have been nullified.
Shorn of its wards, the city will bear the full force of Nidhogg's fury.
All those people.
Alphino is right. The Dravanians cannot be allowed to prevail. If Ishgard falls, all of Eorzea will suffer the consequences.
Then you agree that we have no choice but to intervene. For the good of the realm, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn and the Crystal Braves must join the defense of Ishgard.
Let there be no ambiguity about what has been proposed. We would be directly intervening in the war. But if all here believe the cause to be just, then to war we shall go. The path we now embark upon is perilous, but I pray you will walk with us to the end.
Well, of course.
For those we have lost, for those we can yet save.
I'm writing that down because I like that line.
Then it is settled. I shall inform the Council of our intentions and request that they contribute their own forces to the defense of Ishgard.
What are you saying to him? I want to know what you're saying. So does Real. Volunteer Dragon Slayers. I have bid the Archons travel to their assigned nations. Should the members of the Alliance agree to pledge Grand Company soldiers to Ishgard's cause, our comrades will be on hand to act as intermediaries for the duration of the conflict. The small matter of persuading the Alliance leaders to grant such support, I leave to Alfino. For you, my friend, a different task awaits. I would have you reach out to your fellow adventurers and gather what allies you may for the coming siege. I would also have you consider the matter of our own security. Revenant's Toll is but a short flight from the snowfields of Kurthus. It is not unimaginable that the fighting may spill across the border. Pray brief Slaffborn on the brewing conflict and discuss potential contingencies. The frontier settlers must be prepared for aught that might wing its way over our walls. I only hope that such precautions prove unnecessary. But before you leave, might I suggest that you have Tataru accompany you? She has a talent for administration and a firm grasp on the practical challenges we may encounter. Yeah. I'll talk to Tataru. Hey, Tataru. We are rather close to Kurthus, aren't we? We'd best see to our own defenses and take stock of our supplies. Oh, and we'll also need to have beds and bandages laid out just in case. A good receptionist is ready for any eventuality. Let's go, Asuka. I have 101 things to discuss with Slaffborn. I'm sure you do. His name is Bongwater, and he's wielding a fork. I appreciate the warning. If war is coming to Kurthus, then the toll must be made ready. I'll increase the number of patrols and lookouts immediately. I'll also see about finding room for an infirmary, as well as a temporary housing for victims of the conflict. Ishgard has done well by us in the past, and I would return the favor. But as for rounding up volunteers for the fighting itself, I'm afraid I must disappoint you. I will not send my fellow guild members to die on Ishgardian soil, and I'm certain headquarters will say the same. There will be no official Adventurers Guild presence at this siege. That said, each adventurer is of course free to do as he or she will. I shall have a word with some of my more capable colleagues on your behalf, and you might try your luck here in Revenant's Toll. I dare say there are a few stout souls about town who will answer your call to arms. Let's get started, shall we? We have a town to rouse. You there, accomplished adventurer. Spare me your talk of glory and fame. I'm not in the habit of volunteering for lost causes. I've survived this long by trusting my instincts, and my instincts tell me to stay well away from Ishgard. Okay. Sorry to bother you. What's up, Real? Ishgard sounds like she's in a right mess, but that ain't what I wanted to talk to you about. I need you to cast your mind back to that scuffle with the Empire out by the processing plant. A lad from Little Alamigo by the name of Wilrid was there with the Fourth that day, and I want to know if you've seen him since. Have you? No. God's damn it, I feared as much. No one's bloody seen him. It's like the ground opened up and swallowed him whole. But that ain't all. Around the time Wilrid stopped turning up for duty, them black market weapons went missing from our vault in Ul'dah. So, of course, half the braves suspected that the lad had making off with the goods. Folk like to believe our company's a disciplined fighting force, but as you and me both know, it's no more than a motley collection of mercenaries, adventurers, and Grand Company veterans. The only thing that binds us together is some vague oath about fighting for the freedom of all. That and a steady pay. Now, compared to most others in this crew, Wilred's a fresh-faced novice, a bleeding whelp among wolves. But the boy's got passion. When he talked about being a guardian of Eorzea, he bloody well meant it. A lad like him wouldn't rob us blind and bugger off like that. He ain't the type. And then, and this is just between you and me, mind, there's the fact that the lad wanted to tell me about something queer he'd noticed in the ledgers. Something about the Braves' numbers not adding up. Aye, there's a villain at the end of this trail I've stumbled upon, and I'll bet me good eye it ain't young Wilred. Any road, we've got a water wage, so I'll let you get on. I just thought someone should know. I'll be seeing you, Oscar. Well then. I'm sure that won't lead to any discoveries. You there, adept adventurer. So, Ishgard seeks sellswords to bolster its ranks, eh? Though I'm not sure I like the sound of the siege, those nobles will surely be generous with their rewards. Ah, but I have pledged myself to guard Revenant's tone. Modest work though it is, I am loath to break the terms of my contract. What to do? What to do? Yes, what to do? I see you up there. Austere adventurer. Show me blade to the Ishgardians? Well, them dragons are a fearsome lot, but I'd slay me fair share if the coin was good. I've worked for one of them knights before, you know. Watched me like a bloody hawk, he did. Still, I'd put up with worse than that for a heavy purse. Good to know. Yozan, you are going to fall. And what would your father say if he found out I let you just stand on the edge of this? Watch. Watch how much it hurts when you fall. Angular adventurer. How very descriptive. Volunteer my services in the defense of Ishgard? I think not. Dragons claim the lives of every one of my brothers. I do not mean to offer them mine. 'Twas to escape such a fate that I took up the mantle of adventurer in the first place. I would sooner die in the pursuit of fortune than huddled behind an icy wall. Well, at least you have a good reason. Let's go back to Tataru. There you are, Asuka. So, did you sway any hearts? Like one? One or two, eh? Well, added to mine, that makes 3 or 4, not including Slackborn's friends. We won't have the largest company in the army, but I'd say one Revenant Soul veteran is worth a dozen clanking knights at least. An allied perspective. Oh, I've been so caught up with recruiting that I almost forgot. There's been word from Elfino. Apparently, the Alliance's leaders are convening in Ul'dah to discuss Ishgard's plight, and they've requested your presence, as usual. Anyway, you'd best make your way to Ul'dah or you'll be late. Alphino said that he would meet you on the Royal Promenade. Okay. Let's go to Ul'dah then. Then use the Ethernet. to go to the Royal Promenade. Nice bat. My apologies for calling you away from your tasks. I had hoped to proceed with these negotiations one leader at a time, but it seems my urgent request for an audience had prompted a gathering with the council. Needless to say, I felt obliged to attend. The Alliance leaders are already seated within. Let us join them, shall we? Yeah, why not?
We are well aware of Ishgard's dilemma, and we agree with your assessment.
Then I trust there are no objections to the Crystal Braves' intervention.
Uldar has none.
Gridania does not object.
The Crystal Braves are yours to command, Alphino. Do what you will. We shall pray for your success.
It was my hope that you would offer more substantial aid than prayer. I know it is within your means.
Do not presume that you have knowledge of our every concern. The Garleans and the Beast Tribes are but two of many. We are not in a position to contribute greatly to the defense of Ishgard, not when our own homes are still under siege.
We dare not leave our interests in Cartano undefended as well. Telegi Adalegi and his ilk would seize control of the territories in our absence.
The enemy is at their gates, and you would cower behind yours?
No one is cowering, boy. We will offer what support we can.
Aye, support. A handful of men and no more.
Would that we could commit more than a token force to this cause. Yet there are others to whom you might turn. The free companies ever want for work.
Ah, yes. The free companies. They're not like to turn you down.
I beg your pardon? You would entrust the survival of Ishgard to sell swords? Crises like these are the very reason why this alliance was formed. It is our duty to aid our fellow man.
My duty is to my country and my people. If you expect us to place the welfare of a foreign power above our own, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Lest you doubt, Limsa comes first, then the Alliance, and finally, circumstances permitting, Ishgard and the rest. If you cannot understand so simple a concept, then you have no place at this table.
Forgive me, Admiral. I was careless in my choice of words.
I suggest you assemble a party of elite adventurers, assuming you haven't already. Your fellows served us well during Operation Archon. I dare say they will do so again. If I may, Your Grace, I wish to propose a redistribution of forces. If we entrust the security of Uldar to the Brass Blades for a time, we can dispatch a larger force to Ishgard. Your Grace?
Yes. Yes, of course. Do what you will.
Is Her Grace not feeling well?
To the best of my knowledge, Her Grace is in perfect health.
I see. Carry on.
Hello, Alphino. Once again, I owe you an apology. It seems you have been conscripted into leading a contingent of adventurers on yet another mission of inestimable danger. But I fear we have been left with little alternative. We cannot well abandon Lord Horshafont and Sir Emmerich to their fate. We must abide by the Council's decision, as short-sighted as it is, and strive to fulfill our roles as Eorzea's guardians. Don't worry. I can kill dragons. Captain Ilbert, what news? Then the assault is begun. We have but this moment concluded our audience with the Alliance leaders. Move our forces into position. Your unit will join House Durandare at the Steel Vigil. Man the cannons alongside the knights and thin the Dravanian horde ere they descend upon Ishgard. I will join you as soon as I am able. Asuka, I would have you and your adventurer allies bolster the defenses of the Steps of Faith. Report first to Sir Marcelane at the Gates of Judgment, and he will direct you to where you are needed most. May the gods grant us victory. Let's go, then, to the Gates of Judgment, which means Camp Dragonhead and a short flight. Very large bird. Hello, Marcelane. You are the appointed captain of the Sail Sword contingent? Then, welcome. There is no shortage of blade work to be done. As we speak, Dravanian skirmishing parties are harrying positions across the Central Highlands. I've assigned the Crystal Braves, and your fellow adventurers to contain these scattered attacks, and for the present I would have you join them. This is, of course, merely a precursor to the assault on Ishgard proper. The wily serpents seek to divide and confuse our forces, but we will not be so easily drawn out of position. The Temple Knights will remain on the Steps of Faith and continue our preparations. When the Horde arrives in force, they shall face a wall of Ishgardian steel. Report back to me once their advanced skirmishers are slain. Okay. Fly to the first bit of fighting. Everybody? Nope. There's more. There you are. There we go. To the next bit of fighting. big one. Back to Sir Marceline. On my own dragon. What news, adventurer? The reinforcements? Decimated, you say? Gervanian devils. Damn their scaly hides. Hold fast to your grief and fury, my lady. We will avenge the deaths of your fellows in the battle to come. The Steps of Faith. Ere you commit yourself to the siege, you should know what it is you are tasked with defending. Beyond the gates of judgment lie the Steps of Faith, a great bridge of stone that leads directly to the city of Ishgard. More than simply a means to cross the Sea of Clouds, the bridge serves as a foundation for the arcane wards that form the barrier we call Danafrit's Collar. Alas, in dispelling the barrier's outermost layer, that thrice-stabbed witch Iceheart stripped the bridge of its protection, and thus are the dragons now able to land unhindered upon the Steps of Faith. Should the Dravanians succeed in destroying the remainder of the wards, the winged devils will be free to swarm within the city itself. Needless to say, we cannot suffer that to happen. It shall be our task as defenders to prevent any harm from coming to those parts of the bridge wherein the wards are sealed. All now rests on us, adventurer. Lead your comrades out onto the Steps of Faith and prepare to meet the Horde. May the Fury guide out your blades. May she indeed. Let's do the Steps of Faith. That's a big one. Let's see what we can do. There we go. I'm zoomed all the way out. And this is all we can see of him because he's that big. We defeated the dragon. Ah, cool, they gave us a shortcut. Because the longer the fight goes on, the further he walks, and the actual end of the fight is all the way down the bridge. Let's go back in. The dragons! They are withdrawing! Victory is ours! Yay! Nidhogg's greatest champions slain. The Horde will not soon recover from this blow. But what of you, Nidhogg? Why did you not join your minions and make of this battle a slaughter? Have you grown so fond of the stench of your lair? Mayhap you prefer to have your allies fight your battles for you. You have a girl to do your bidding now, do you not? No matter. I shall slay Iceheart and all the rest. But I yearn to spill the blood of the great worm, Nidhogg, and only your death will sate my lance. And then he just takes off like Superman, because Justinian can jump really high. We done did it, Elfino. Asuka, the dragons are routed. Lest you wonder, the fighting at the Steel Vigil is also fierce, but my Crystal Braves were not found wanting. Commander Leveilleur, Asuka, true to your word, you arrived to aid us in our hour of need. On behalf of the Holy See and the people of Ishgard, I offer you my humble thanks. Though I would stay and lavish you with well-deserved praise, I fear I must away to oversee the aftermath of the siege. Not all the dragons have fled, and there are yet wounded to be carried from the field. Pray let us meet anon, that I might express my thanks with the proper courtesy. Yes, pray let us. I too would offer my thanks, Asuka. Through your deeds we have achieved a victory of singular importance. With the Dravanian horde thus weakened and scattered, the threat to Ishgard has been greatly diminished. And mayhap equally significant, the Holy See must now recognize the necessity of cooperation with foreign powers. Long have they barred their gates against the outside world, but I am confident that the day will soon come when Ishgard proclaims itself a member of the Eorzean Alliance once more. Much have we sacrificed in our struggles against dragons and primals, the Ascians and the Empire, but step by unfaltering step, we march ever nearer to our goal. And, as ever, the journey is made with you in the van. The victory you have won this day gives us greater hope for tomorrow. It is a hope that shall sustain us in the days to come, and bear us past the many evils that yet seek to hinder our progress. Yes, we have done well, my friend, and I, for one, would take a moment to savor the enormity of our achievement. The demands of duty, however, allow me little time for levity. I must accompany Captain Ilberd back to Uldar and reassign those braves whose squad suffered heavy losses. You, my friend, have earned a rest at the Rising Stones. Pray return to Revenant's Toll and share your tale with Minfilia in person. Okay. I shall, pray return to the Rising Stones. After killing a ginormous dragon. Wow, you are still standing here. This character's last name is Baja Blast. Makes me want Taco Bell. Hello, Tataru. Asuka, welcome back. Alphino sent word of the siege, and, of course, of the role you played in ending it. Your deeds never cease to amaze me, Asuka. Thank you. Administrative decision. You must be weary, Asuka, and now may very well be your only chance to... Antecedent. A messenger from Ulda arrived with a missive for you. The royal seal. Curious indeed. Ah, an invitation. On behalf of the Council of the Eorzean Alliance, Her Royal Majesty Nanamo Ulnamo invites the Scions of the Seventh Dawn to attend a feast at the Royal Palace of Ulda in honor of Ishgard's recent victory. It would seem we are to be recognized for our part in lifting the siege, you for your valiant efforts as commander of the adventurers contingent, and the Archons for their earnest attempts to rouse the city-states. Truly, I find it strange that the Alliance leaders should think themselves deserving of a place at such a celebration. All three refused to deploy their standing armies, preferring to send hastily assembled companies of sellswords, many of whom perished ere the siege began. Are they truly so brazen as to seek to share in the glory of your triumph? Ah, but mayhap they simply seek a pretext to meet with the Ishgardians while the mood is yet jubilant. Such an occasion would present a fine opportunity to press for Ishgard's return to the Eorzean Alliance. We have scarce had time to mourn Moonbreeder, and I, for one, am in no mood to carouse. But I suppose we must put away our grief for the good of the realm. Though you were promised rest, I fear I must insist that you also attend. It would be a strange celebration indeed if the victorious hero were not present. Pray content yourself with the thought that such occasions may bring about momentous change, and this without recourse or bloodshed. Tataru, if you would do me the favor of contacting the rest of the Scions? Of course, Antecedent. And please let me know if there's anything else I can do. Curious. I have never known Tataru to sigh at such requests. Could aught be amiss? I don't know. Let's find out. Tataru? You are not at your desk. Flamen, have you seen Tataru? Tataru? I believe she just stepped outside. Now that I think on it, she did seem rather preoccupied. Well, let's go look outside then. Tataru, where are you? You over here? Oh, you're up there. Just sitting. Oh, Asuka, it's you. I didn't mean to worry anyone. It's nothing really. Well, it's not nothing exactly, but it feels like nothing compared to the towering trials you and the others face every day. And that's why I should probably talk to Minfilia before things get any worse. Ah, you always know what to say, Asuka. I'm glad we had this little chat. Alright. We'll go talk to Minfilia at the start of the next video, though. Because it is just about time to put an end to this one.